Welcome to Friday Night SmackDown Live from Milan, Italy, as we'll continue our European tour. And out first is one of the most hated men in WWE right now, and a man who is walking around with the WWE Championship. He is not the champion, and that is Kevin Owens, who's been given time tonight to explain his actions from Clash in Paris, in which we will show you real quickly at what happened. And well, after Cody Rhodes retained in a brutal and bloody match against Kevin Owens at Clash in Paris, this would happen after the match. Kevin Owens would snap, hit a pop-up powerbomb on Cody Rhodes after the match, and then he would use the championship as a weapon, calling Rhodes to his feet. You can see the blood all over the ring, blood all over both men, and use it as a weapon. But Kevin Owens would not stop there. It would hit the apron powerbomb. He couldn't get during the matchup on Cody Rhodes. Then after that, he would bring Rhodes into the ring and hit a package power driver, leaving Rhodes out in the ring. And well, let's find out what Kevin Owens has to say after his actions at Clash in Paris. And well, as you just saw at Clash in Paris, Cody Rhodes defeated this man to retain the championship. After the match, Kevin Owens snapped, hit him with an apron powerbomb, and then a package power driver, leaving him in the middle of the ring in his pool of his own blood. And Kevin Owens is out here tonight, even with side plates on the title as well. That's how sick Kevin Owens is. But let's hear from Owens to open the show. Look at this. The most important championship in this industry. The championship that should have been mine a long time ago. And you all want to talk about Clash in Paris, the package power driver. You want to talk about what I did to Cody Rhodes. And good. I want to talk about it as well, because for years I've sat back and watched Cody Rhodes become everything that I was supposed to be. I watched him walk back into the company and get handed opportunity after opportunity, and every single one of you ate it up. You chanted, "Finish the story. We want Cody." What story? The story where the golden boy gets everything he wants because he's marketable, because he wears nice suits, because he smiles for the camera. You call him a hero. I call him what he really is, a corporate puppet. The nice guy act, it's fake. It's always been fake. Cody Rhodes is not the man you think he is. He's the man WWE wants you to think he is. The perfect champion, the perfect ambassador, the perfect little mascot for $1 billion company. And that makes me sick. You know what makes me even sicker? Watching Cody Rhodes live the life that was meant to be mine. That should have been me ending Roman Reigns all those years ago. It should have been me, not Cody. I was here when this company didn't want me. I fought for every inch of grind I ever got. I bled for this place. I sacrificed for this place. And while I was doing that, Cody Rhodes came back and got crowned the saviour of WWE. So at Clash in Paris, after our loss, I did the most honest thing I've done in years. I stopped pretending. I stopped being the guy who was supposed to accept it. I stopped being the guy who was supposed to smile and move on. I reminded Cody Rhodes and all of you that fairness doesn't exist. I dropped him on his head. I took this championship for the first time in a very long time. I felt like justice had finally been served. You can boo, you can cheer all you want. You people don't hate me because I'm wrong. You hate me because deep down you know I'm right. You know, Cody Rhodes gets treated differently. You know, Cody Rhodes gets protected. You know, he is the chosen one. And the worst part, if any of you were in my position, watching someone else take everything you've earned, you'd do exactly as I did. Now, Cody, you wanted to finish your story. I just rewrote the ending. And until somebody takes this title from my hands, the championship stays with a man who should have been the face of WWE all along. And well, after hearing from Kevin Owens, turn our attention to the Queen of the Ring tournament, in which we are still in the first round of this, in which out first for action is the bougie bully Lash Legend, the protege and a friend, the former Women's World Champion, or Women's WWE Champion in Nia Jax. So I said, been helping Nia Jax defend that title and hope to win the title in the first place. But Lash out here maybe saying it's time for her to get championship gold around her waist and become the women's WWE champion here on SmackDown. She wins the Queen of the Ring tournament. She gets a title shot at the SmackDown Women's Championship. Obviously, if a Raw Superstar wins it, they get a shot at Rhea Ripley and a Raw Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And with Lash Legend, some of a bright future here in WWE. Someone that's a guaranteed future world champion. Possible future WrestleMania main eventer as well. The question is, can she begin that road tonight by winning the first round matchup of the Queen of the Ring tournament? I'll see over on Raw we saw Raquel Rodriguez defeat Natalya and making a debut here tonight in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Also a former NXT superstar is Wren Sinclair. Someone not to be taken lightly. The size advantage may be there for Lash Legend, but Wren Sinclair with a wrestling background, the submissions and everything she has in her locker could get the job done if she can wear down Lash Legend, take it down to the mat, lock in a submission and make Lash submit. That could be the way Wren Sinclair advances into the tournament. Well, this one's going to be a great matchup to start SmackDown. We heard Kevin Owens moments ago explain his actions for what he did at Clash in Paris. And well, as he was doing so, I heard people around the arena actually agree with him. And there are people online that are agreeing with Kevin Owens and that his reasons for doing what he did are actually fair. Let's get this one underway. Wren Sinclair versus Lash Legend to start the show off with in the first round of the Queen of the Ring tournament. As these two, well, Lash Legend with some words to Wren Sinclair to start this one off with. And what I will be going this one, and well, Wren Sinclair wants it, or quickly using the speed advantage she has and the agility advantage on Lash Legend and flies him with a crossbody. And Wren Sinclair clearly came into tonight with a game plan in mind, going to the top rope early. And this one is Wren Sinclair. Lash Legend looking to cut her off, and Wren Sinclair from the top of a crossbody for a quick win here. But Lash kicks out there. And Wren Sinclair had a game plan, executed it, but it didn't get the job done. Going for that crossbody. And Lash though, with a huge right hand there. And Lash now gets a huge forearm there. And that has gained control of the matchup for the Bougie Bully. And Lash is showing why she is called. That with a power here, just launching her across the ring, and that pops up and stabs it down there. And Lash just taking a second to stake her claim to the Queen of the Ring tournament. Also, there's going to be a bunch of great superstars in this one. It's going to be a big fixture if she can go on to do so. And Lash is just launching Wren Sinclair across the ring. And now just mocking Wren Sinclair there, saying that she has no chance in this one. But Wren Sinclair's going to keep fighting. And Wren Sinclair with a huge double chop there, gets the elbow drop there as well. That's Wren Sinclair now driving Lash Legend's head into the mat there. Showing that she can also fight rough as well. In this one, we'll drop kick to the back there as well. So Wren Sinclair, like I say, the speed advantage, the agility advantage, but not the size, the strength, etc. Maybe not the confidence advantage either. But there's double boots to the face. And a pop-up slam there. A stomp to the back of the head, stopping Wren Sinclair from getting out the ring. And now double underhook, deadlift. Sit out into the powerbomb. But Wren Sinclair kicks out at two, to the frustration of Lash Legend, and now drives her face first into the mat. And Lash again just showing her dominance over Wren Sinclair tonight. And Lash off the ropes there. Wren Sinclair gets out of the way. Big reversal there. And now Wren into a Black Widow submission hold here on Lash Legend. They're going to make Lash submit here. With the Black Widow locked in. Can she do so? But sidewalk stomp from Lash gets her out of it. And Lash now returns the favour, now slamming Wren Sinclair face first. Not face first, sorry. Back of the head first into the mat. And now Lash just Tina Wilson strikes and some stomps there. And Lash in control of this one. And Lash pops her up again and slams her down for a second time. And Wren Sinclair, no choice but to roll onto the ropes there. And Wren Sinclair uses the rope so to counter, and Wren Sinclair now drives her face first into the mat there with an X Factor. And Lash just kicks out there. Well, the X Factor almost got the job done for Wren Sinclair. Needs to stay on the attack, needs to stay focused and stay focused, like I just said. And there's a double underhook suplex. And Wren Sinclair now looking to lock up Lash Legend into a cattle mutilation submission hold. Can Lash Legend stay in this one though? With a submission hold locked in tight here by Wren Sinclair. But Lash, again with the strength, able to just about fight out of this one. And Lash with a huge clothesline there, wrapping the arm around the neck and drags it down to the mat for good measure there. As now Lash with one emphatic choke slam to advance into the next round of the tournament. But Wren shows the heart and stays in this one. As Lash now, frustrations with the referee, saying that should have been a free count. Not too sure why this is for Lash Legend, getting her emotions, let the emotions get the better of her. As Wren Sinclair, crucifix pin. But Lash kicks out. And now Wren Sinclair lines her in with a shining wizard. And Wren Sinclair now, where she got planned next there. It's been a great debut so far for her, but can she get the big victory? Impressive strength with a reverse Alabama slammer. And Wren goes to the top for the second time tonight. Wren Sinclair with a huge leg drop. But it's only 2 and change. And Wren Sinclair's going to be wondering now what more she has to do to advance into the next round. Double foot stomp to the arm. As Wren Sinclair now trying to get this crowd behind her, trying to use the momentum of this sold out crowd here in Milan, Italy. And we're loving what they're seeing so far from Wren Sinclair. But Lash Legend counters. And Lash now pop up again with the huge slam there. And when Lash Legend now backing up into the corner here, calling her to her feet. Wren Sinclair, that is, as Lash looking for a huge maneuver, but Wren Sinclair out of the way. And Wren Sinclair, headlock driver. Is that enough? But rope break saves Lash Legend. And well, Wren Sinclair, I knew that was her moment. Super kick to the midsection off the ropes. Double axe kick to the back. And Wren Sinclair now going into deep into her arsenal for manoeuvres to get this one done here. Top rope again. Wren Sinclair, crossbody again. And once again, Wren Sinclair getting the crowd behind her. So a great showcase for her so far on her debut. But there's a boot to the face from Lash. He follows through with a huge pump kick. But Wren Sinclair kicks out again to the frustration, chagrin of Lash Legend, who now using that frustration, running power slam. I was sometimes for a superstar against someone the caliber of Lash Legend, it's better to just stay down and fight another day, and live to fight another day, than to kick out and get them more frustrated and deal with the punishment that they will give you. As Lash looking for a superplex here, showing the strength with the stalling variation, but there's the speed, the agility, and there's a facebuster there, or I should say, and there's a running facebuster after the snake eyes. And again another pinfall to advance. But again, somehow, Lash Legend is still in this one. And Wren Sinclair at this point is going to be wondering what more she has to do. Looks for the super kick, no one's home. Lash hooks her up, looking for Lash extension. And Lash Legend gets the job done. But what an impressive debut for Wren Sinclair tonight, taking Lash Legend into deep waters in this one. Almost got the job done on multiple occasions, but in the end the power and the size was too much for Wren Sinclair. And Lash after kicking out the running X Factor. Right here, oh, I thought this was over. The snake eyes into the running X Factor right there. But Wren Sinclair took a couple of seconds to get into the pinfall. And then attempted super kick. Caught. Hooked. And then Lash extension. For the 1, the 2, and the 3 to advance into the next round of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Are we looking at a future victor? And maybe a future world champion with a big victory here tonight over Wren Sinclair. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined backstage with SmackDown GM Nick Aldis, and I just got one question for you. How is Cody Rhodes doing? Do you have an injury update on the Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes, that you can give us? Kathy, and to everyone watching, unfortunately right now I didn't have a positive injury update on the Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. He's still being tested on, he's still getting checkups done on his neck after what Kevin Owens did at Clash in Paris. But Kevin Owens, I heard what you said earlier tonight, that you're going to hold on to that championship until someone takes it off you. But I'm going to tell you this, you're lucky you weren't suspended, you're lucky you're not even fired, matter of fact. It's Cody Rhodes that has kept your job for you, because Cody Rhodes looked me in the eyes and told me not to touch you until he is cleared to get his revenge on you. So Kevin Owens, keep hold of that title for as well as you can, because Cody Rhodes will be back and he will get his revenge as he deserves. And well, after that great opening match in which we see Lash Legend advance into the Queen of the Ring tournament, it's time for a King of the Ring tournament matchup. But out first, it is Matt Cardona, who made his return to WWE a few months ago and has been impressive since returning. But tonight is looking to get himself one step closer to the championship gold he desires the most, and that is a world championship, something he's never won in his time here before. Obviously, this is a different side of the man who used to be in the Zack Ryder we've seen ever before. A man who's always ready. A man who said he is not finished yet. And tonight, if he can advance into the King of the Ring tournament, like I said, is one step closer to that goal. You can hear the reception for him here tonight from the sold out crowd. The question is, who's he going to be facing in this matchup? And is Matt Cardona still at the level he can go on to win championships for me? You're the Tag Team Champion, IC Champion, United States Champion, as he never has won the all-elusive World Championship. And taking on Matt Cardona tonight is the Emperor of Lucha Libre in Santos Escobar. And well, this one is going to be a great one, I can promise you that, between these two. See Santos Escobar man looking to prove himself, as he does every time he steps into the ring, that he is at a level that's further than he's ever gone before here in WWE, that he is one of the top stars in the ring in this company and deserves the respect from the crowd he believes he deserves. I see one of the greatest in the ring that we have in the company is the Emperor Lucha Libre. Would it be here if it wasn't one of the best? We see that every time he's in a ring, he shows out and he shows up. A victory sometimes fall by the wayside for Santos Escobar, maybe due to his actions, his ego, everything like that. Obviously, the crowd don't like the way he goes about his business, trying to cheat, trying to use underhanded tactics, using obviously the likes of Berto and obviously Angel Garza to try and win matchups as well. Well, interesting enough tonight, Los Garza are not at ringside. But maybe there's a trap set up somewhere to help Santos Escobar advance into the King of the Ring tournament. So he's the Emperor Lucha Libre. If he wins it tonight, he'll be the King of the Ring and stand at the top of the industry with a chance to be world champion. But first he's got to get through. A man who said he's not finished, a man who says that he was always ready, and that is a fired up Matt Cardona. Let's get this one underway. Escobar v Cardona. And well, straight away Santos Escobar wisely just taking the crowd out of this one. So the crowd want to see a Matt Cardona win, and the referee just stopping Cardona from going to ringside before she can start the count. And Santos Escobar's back into the ring here. Oh, waist lock on Cardona. Scoots him up here. to steal the victory. And Matt Cardona flips it around into a jackknife cover here. And there's the impressive core strength of Escobar though, into a backslide here. But Cardona kicks that too. And Cardona and Escobar now stare each other down as this one's properly underway now. Cardona kick to the midsection again, follows through. But here's Escobar though with the third one, counters, writes him up. German suplex. And the Emperor Lucha Libre is now in control of this one. As Escobar now off the ropes with a huge leg drop there to the throat of Matt Cardona. Escobar now just repeatedly booting Cardona in the face here. And Cardona just saying that his plan's working to fruition. Taking the crowd out of this one, taking the momentum away from Matt Cardona. And the early goings of this one could work and pay dividends for the Emperor of Lucha Libre, who shows why he's got that nickname of impressive maneuvers there. And again with his boots to the face of Matt Cardona. And Escobar again just standing tall over Matt Cardona so far, as Escobar now looking for a second German suplex. Escobar just repeatedly and now just using these boots to scrape the face of Cardona. And again with his kicks to the face of a crowd favourite here tonight. As the Emperor Lucha Libre in control of this one. Cardona now in the corner being laid into with his huge rights, but Cardona counters. Cardona stomps away at the midsection. It's not been a great start to this one for Matt Cardona, but if he can get the momentum going, he can use this capacity to crowd as momentum. That's a flatliner there. That's one way to get into a matchup, dropping your opponent face first. And Cardona answers back with some huge rights. To the face of the Emperor Lucha Libre and a stomp there to the gut. As Cardona up, over, neck breaker. Impressive there. Looking for the elbow drop and gets it. As Cardona now setting on the offense, but there's a knee to the face from Santos Escobar, who catches Cardona, kick to the midsection. A Mexican Destroyer. It wouldn't be a popular outcome here tonight, but it may be over. But Cardona kicks out. And the Emperor Lucha Libre not too happy about that one. He believed it was over. As Escobar now looking for another German suplex, but Cardona counters. Matt Cardona with his crowd behind him, laying in with his huge chops to knife edge. Chops to the Emperor Lucha Libre off the ropes. And sit out spine buster from Matt Cardona, who's now fired up here. And now a double knees to the face, a code breaker there being brought out. As Matt Cardona's had a one fired up here. And taking a second just to pander to the crowd, may have cost him. As Santos Escobar now, kick to the midsection. And now up into a gory special here. A submission hold on Matt Cardona being locked in here. But can Cardona use the advantage in the strength and size to get out of this one? As Cardona, great reversal there. Gets out of it. And now Cardona runs in, knife edge chop. Thought he might be going for a Rough Rider, but didn't go for it there. And now a huge closeout in the corner. As Matt Cardona now in control of this matchup here. As Cardona now up and over net breaker there. And Matt Cardona now calling the Emperor Lucha Libre to his feet here, looking to advance into the next round of the King of the Ring tournament here. Taking a page out of his wife's book there with the Unprettier being used. A shout out to Chelsea Green, the Women's United States Champion. But Escobar kicks out. And Matt Cardona can feel it slipping away. That chance at that elusive World Championship is in his grasp, but like I say, it's on its way of slipping through his fingers in the first round as Cardona countered there by Escobar. And Cardona now in the corner, Escobar with a huge running back elbow right to the jaw. And Escobar now wasting no time up on the shoulders with the Phantom Driver. But Cardona is still in this one. Somehow, some way, Matt Cardona still in this one, and now Escobar going to the top. There comes some high risk, higher reward offense, as a crowd are loving what they're seeing between these two so far. But a kick it, punch it to the midsection, and a Rough Rider to advance, but not just yet. You can feel the collective heart just sank of Matt Cardona and the crowd here tonight. But Cardona boot to the face, showing this new side of himself. The man is not afraid to get it done. The way he needs to get it done is reinvented himself since being away. Let's come back with this new and improved attitude off the ropes. But there's a knee to the jaw there, as Cardona now again dropped in the back of his neck there with a German suplex. But both men are down here. And with Escobar and Cardona both down on their feet, who will get to their feet first? It is going to be the Emperor Lucha Libre, who's back to vertical basis first. And now a boots to the face there. Now stomping away on Cardona. He's talking some trash as well at the same time. And again with his disrespectful boots to the face of Cardona. Gotta imagine that the Emperor Lucha Libre believes that he is above someone like Matt Cardona in the ring. And now Cardona putting himself up into the corner here. And now the Emperor Lucha Libre into the corner, countered though by Matt Cardona. And Cardona now digging down deep, double knees to the face again, but Cardona can't capitalise. A code breaker for a second time being pulled out there. Now Cardona is back to his feet here, looking to lock in a submission hold here. A single leg Boston Crab this deep into this matchup, may get the job done. Sitting down deep into the lower back of Escobar here is Cardona. But Escobar somehow finds a way out of this one. Now both men back to their feet, kick to the midsection by Matt Cardona. And another one. And now a Tiger Driver. And Matt Cardona may be on the verge of advancing, as Cardona now sizes up for a second Rough Rider. But Matt Cardona isn't done, giving the crowd what they want here tonight. Looking for the exclamation point with a third and hopefully final Rough Rider to advance into the next round of the King of the Ring tournament. It's going to be Matt Cardona. What a matchup we just saw between these two. And still to come is our main event. A no-holds-barred match between LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. That is up next. And Cardona and Escobar gave everything they had tonight. But in the end, Matt Cardona, with his crowd behind him, had enough left in the tank to get the job done. Hitting two Rough Riders back to back. 3 in total. I think it was done after the second, maybe after the Tiger Driver. I think it was done there, but Matt Cardona advances and is one step closer to World Championship gold. Has avoided him all his career so far. And what is time for our main event, in which it's hopefully the conclusion of what's been a heated and brutal rivalry between Drew McIntyre and the megastar LA Knight. This started many months ago after WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre and LA Knight both set their sights on Cody Rhodes in the undisputed WWE Championship, and they both stood in each other's way. They exchanged some harsh words to one another, led to a matchup. LA Knight would win that one, which has sent Drew McIntyre spiraling even more into the centre of chaos that he's been in on. Now we're set for another matchup. But before the matchup, Drew McIntyre would assault LA Knight backstage and launch him off a scaffolding through a stage light, costing LA Knight months of his career out of an injury. Drew McIntyre was suspended for those actions, and what he said, saying that if it was Cody Rhodes that did that, he would be cheered and celebrated as a golden boy. But because it was Drew McIntyre, he's punished and made to look out as a villain, when in reality he's a saviour of this company and WWE as a whole, and the industry says as well. But Drew tonight is going one-on-one with LA Knight. Two people that well, we know don't like each other. A no-holds-barred match. Anything goes here in our main event of Milan, Italy. So this is kind of a home game for McIntyre from Scotland, not that far away from Italy. It's a faraway game and away game for LA Knight. You've got to imagine there might be more fans for Drew here who have seen as a career through a hole and maybe supporting him due to the European connection, but his actions bring him his haters, his words bring him his haters and his doubters. But many people believe Drew McIntyre is correct. His rationale makes sense. His actions may not be favourable to many people, but the reasons why he does them are good reasons, and they believe McIntyre is correct in many things he says, that he is punished, he is held back, and many people otherwise are given opportunity to opportunity. And well, here comes someone who's looking for an opportunity and has been for many years, despite this crowd loving him, and that is the megastar LA Knight, who returned on the last SmackDown, made his way down to the ring, involved in a brawl with McIntyre, which Nick Aldis would interrupt on the Titantron, and LA Knight would stop his attack at McIntyre, and that would cost him, as when he turned around, Nick Aldis told LA Knight to come backstage and deal with this properly. He was hit with a Claymore after the steel steps, leaving him out at ringside. And LA Knight got back into the ring and said, make it right, after just costing me, well, that attack. Make this matchup next week, me and McIntyre, no holds barred. And that is what Nick Aldis said. He wants this over with. He wants this put behind. It's been costing him, you know, many nights of sleep. We've got to imagine dealing with his issues between these two, backstage, phone calls, messages, especially Drew McIntyre. But this one is going to be on the way. You can hear the crowd chanting for LA Knight. Well, this one's on the way. Like I said, this one is a no-holds-barred matchup. Anything goes. And some words exchanged before hell is let loose here tonight. And well, when we go here in our main event, LA Knight says, nah, not today, with that huge kick as McIntyre out the way of the clothesline. And Drew Knight backing it up, looking for maybe a shorter tackle, but LA Knight counters as these two going back and forth here. So like I said, these two, a blood feud, you can describe it as. Blood has been spilt, injuries have been caused. But tonight, it could be all over for these two. See, Drew McIntyre, many people believe that he needs to win this feud between these two. He needs to win here tonight. He lost the first one. There's a black hole slam by McIntyre earlier in this one. Yeah, like I said, McIntyre lost the first matchup. It was a great one between him and Knight. Gut wrench, powerbomb out by McIntyre. And going on to that back of LA Knight, that back injury that was caused by that crash through the stage light many months ago now. Smart from McIntyre early in this one, going after the injury of LA Knight. Now sent him into the corner, over the top rope instead. But LA Knight counters with a huge forearm there. As Knight now, what's he doing there? Pushes him away, and a huge shoulder tackle shades of Sheamus. Over the top rope with a battering ram there. As Knight now dishing out these huge knee strikes to the face of the Scottish warrior, the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. As Knight now up on the shoulders is McIntyre, and LA Knight going early in this one with a burning hammer to McIntyre. And McIntyre dazed but on his feet, sent over the top. And the megastar, what is LA Knight thinking here? Going big early in this one. As Knight a clothesline off the ropes, off the apron, sorry. Wiping out Drew McIntyre again. As Knight sends McIntyre into the barricade. This is where the brawl exchanged, or ended last week. This is where McIntyre would use the steel steps to attack LA Knight, and after the Claymore shot that he hit, as Knight now sends McIntyre into the barricade. Knight going after the lower back of McIntyre, trying to injure McIntyre maybe here. Trying to show McIntyre what it feels like to have a bad back. And a knee to the back of the head, crushing McIntyre's face into the apron. Well, I should say, the ring mat here at ringside. There's no give there. That's solid concrete underneath as McIntyre set into the steel steps. As this crowd, you can see the LA Knight shirts. I'm loving what they're seeing from the megastar so far as he grabs a trash can lid, as we would call it, a bin lid here. As LA Knight now Looking to crack it over the skull of McIntyre, who counters. And it's McIntyre uses it as a weapon. And Knight gingerly getting back to his feet. I'm not sure how wise the decision that was, but LA Knight drops again. And then on that beard going straight into the face of the megastar. As it's now Drew McIntyre in control of this one. You got to say this is what LA Knight needed to avoid. McIntyre in control. As McIntyre now places him up and over the top. Ribs first into the barricade. As Knight now, there's these huge rights being dished out by McIntyre. That's Drew now. What's he thinking? The crowd's shouting, we want tables. As McIntyre instead gets a bit out, completes the set. We saw the trash can lid. Now the trash can is out, but McIntyre out of the way. Shot to the back of the head. And a drop kick to McIntyre. There's these two even so far in this one. McIntyre now. What is McIntyre thinking? A clothesline almost sending McIntyre into the crowd. As LA Knight now, with trash can in hand, just patiently waiting, stalking the Scottish psychopath, the Scottish warrior, in Drew McIntyre. Now uses it as a weapon over the head of Drew. He fainted the first time, got the second time to throw off McIntyre there. That's Drew sent back into the ring. LA Knight now looking for another weapon. As LA Knight grabs a wrench. Looking to use the wrench as a weapon, but McIntyre with a claymore out of nowhere. But LA Knight kicks out. And McIntyre frustrated, but that's a big shot hit there. The claymore connected. The crowd are loving what they're seeing so far. And there's McIntyre using that bin as a weapon. A return to sender to LA Knight as McIntyre now with a wrench in hand. With bad intentions. As McIntyre just raises it up, showing the crowd what he's going to do. As he cracks it over the skull of LA Knight. And McIntyre again just basking in these boos. He does not care what the crowd think of him as McIntyre launches it into the face. LA Knight may have broken his nose there with that. He didn't with the first shot on that. McIntyre with the huge rights running down. He's Wimbledon with the shots. But Knight counters, kick to the midsection. And LA Knight with a BFT. But Drew kicks that too. You're going to imagine there's much more left to dish out in this one with punishment as Knight now again with his knee drops to the face. And now Knight stalking Drew McIntyre. But Knight now knee to the face again and a clothesline dropping McIntyre to the mat. And what LA Knight now with a wrench in hand. Raises it up to the capacity of the crowd here in Milan, Italy. I love him what they're seeing. As it's LA Knight's turn to use the wrench as a weapon. And launches it at McIntyre. I believe the sharp end of the wrench made us cut open Drew McIntyre. As LA Knight now of what the crowd wanted. A table set up at ringside in an interesting position. As Knight now clothesline attempted. McIntyre out of the way. You can see the blood pouring from the face of McIntyre after that wrench being used as a weapon. Cutting up his forehead, as you can see, right above the eyebrow as well. As McIntyre now, there's no care in the world, launching Knight across the ring. I think Drew has spotted that table at ringside that LA Knight wanted to use himself. But I think he's going to be used against LA Knight here as Drew. And McIntyre up on his shoulders. Dodges Knight through the table at ringside. And Drew loving what he just saw, but the crowd, well, they're chanting, this is awesome, us booing Drew McIntyre. A juxtaposition there of the crowd's feelings. As Knight now shaded last week with a steel steps being used as a weapon. And Knight could be out cold as McIntyre sends him into the ring. Where's Drew got planned next there? As McIntyre again sends Knight into the barricade. McIntyre for a second time lays him over the top, lays him over the barricade, but McIntyre sizing up for a knee strike instead. And well, Knight could be out cold here, not only after that steel step shot, but also that knee strike across the jaw. It's McIntyre. McIntyre, well, we know what's in that bag. Thumbtacks are out here. That's Drew McIntyre. Jab goes to the face, but LA Knight forcing McIntyre to drop them momentarily. That's LA Knight now in the corner, stomping away, trying to wear down the Scottish Warrior, the sort of psychopath. As LA Knight now, what's he thinking next there? There's Knight with McIntyre up on his shoulders. LA Knight drops him down, half on a bin, half on. The steel steps there, bad landing there for McIntyre's Knight now. Springboard elbow drop from the top, catches him flush with that one. And McIntyre kicks out. Oh, Ellen, I'm not too sure why this is going to the top as McIntyre is somehow back to his feet. McIntyre dazed though. As Knight going back to the top, but Drew catches him and launches him off the top. And LA Knight now in a bad way as Drew McIntyre with the steel steps in hand just launches them. LA Knight not a single care in the world of what damage may have been caused there. Did Drew McIntyre have for the wherewithal of LA Knight? And a back breaking out going after the lower back there again. There's LA Knight. Well, in a bad way here, it's safe to say. That's Drew. Well, Drew's cooking up something bad here for Knight. I've got to imagine whatever it is, Drew McIntyre has bad intentions for LA Knight, setting the steel steps up. What is LA Knight? What is Drew McIntyre planning to do? As Drew is deep into the match with the punishment being done. He's stalling. Superplex on LA Knight's leg. Landed badly on those steel steps. Well, you can see a smile across the face of Drew, who loved seeing what he just saw. That's Drew now. Moving the steel sets into position for something big. That's Drew again. It's launching Knight across the ring and landing on those steel steps. And what LA Knight could be done. Not only the back injury they came into the matchup with, but Drew now sizing him up for a second one. A Claymore. But Knight kicks out. How in the world is LA Knight still in this one? And Drew McIntyre returning to this huge just haymakers to the face of the megastar. I'm surprised blood isn't just spilt on the face of LA Knight, the same as McIntyre though. So McIntyre been busted open for a while in this one after that wrench used as a weapon as McIntyre up and over the top rope, throat first goes LA Knight. And McIntyre now, we're seeing the sick dark side of McIntyre come out in this one, dropping LA Knight face first with the exposed steel. Nothing the referee can do in this one, despite other than, you know, counting the 3 and calling a submission. He can't step in, he can't stop their match up. This is no holds barred between these two. And Drew McIntyre is well within his right to do whatever he wants to the megastar as it repeatedly just drives him face first into the exposed steel here. And now a third time. And Drew just mocking LA Knight here, telling him to bring it. And saying that he can't do anything despite the crowd trying to rally LA Knight here. And LA Knight with a drop kick and McIntyre landed awkwardly. Back in the head first in a lower steel step. But the question is, who's going to get back to the feet first? It's LA Knight who's back to his feet. And LA Knight's fired up. But Drew with a huge strike. Knight counters. And Knight drop kick again to McIntyre. And LA Knight with his crowd behind him. Digging down deep. Somehow still going. In this one is a megastar. It's LA Knight now. What is he got planned for Drew McIntyre? Sets him up. And LA Knight now looking for a superplex of his own, but McIntyre counters. But LA Knight recovers himself, leaps up to the top rope, cat-like agility from the megastar. With a big superplex. What a crowd may be loving what they're seeing, but the bodies of both men aren't. As LA Knight now stopped by Drew, as Drew now grabs drops LA Knight and drops him face first. I think LA Knight had something different planned at ringside, but McIntyre got back to his feet, which threw him off. And there we go, a crimson mask has been opened on the face of LA Knight. That was only a matter of moments. You got to imagine there's Drew McIntyre now with a table in hand. As LA Knight telling McIntyre to get back into it. McIntyre's going to do so. It's McIntyre. Looks like a huge kick. LA Knight counters. And Drew dropped. Well, last time LA Knight set up a table, it didn't work out in his favour. But LA Knight. That's Drew again looking for a huge strike, but McIntyre counters again. I should say Knight counters again. And sends McIntyre crashing over the table. As LA Knight now. What is he cooking up here? What punishment does he have left in the tank to dish out to Drew McIntyre? This one's been a brutal matchup so far, as we expected it to be, as Knight makes his way back to the top. As LA Knight now with a splash sending McIntyre through the table. I'm surprised this one is still going, as Knight now stalking McIntyre, so getting back to his feet. Knee to the face again, and a clothesline. Drops McIntyre. And now it's LA Knight with a thumbtack in hand. And Knight now spilling them out in the ring. Some of them on the body of Drew McIntyre. As LA Knight with an air raid crash onto the tacks. As McIntyre now driven into the exposed turnbuckle pad. And LA Knight loving what he's seeing, but taking a bit too much time to pander to the crowd, as McIntyre now sends Knight into the exposed steel. As Drew again, bad intentions now, up to the top rope, this time no. And a superplex onto the tacks, both men crashing onto them. Neither man winning that exchange, you gotta imagine. As Knight picking him out his body the best he can, as he does right now. As Knight knows somehow again fighting back. As Knight, huge shot, low blow by McIntyre. And Drew does not care how he does this. All Drew McIntyre cares is that he wins. Whether you like it or you hate it, that is the mindset of Drew. And now just drops. And then that again onto those tacks. That's Drew now. Powerbomb set up and delivered. As these two are just spent in this one. Blood has been spilt on both men. Neither man's walking out this match the same. And then I came into this matchup with an injury. And I've got wrench onto the tacks again. As that sick, sadistic smile across the face of McIntyre, the boot for good measure. And again. And we're seeing the dark side of McIntyre. Clubbing blow. As LA Knight's in a really bad way here. Like I said, the referee can do nothing but count the 3 or call a submission. If he wanted to stop it, he can't. As LA Knight at the mercy of Drew. I think Drew McIntyre has the end of the match up in sight, as he uses the steps again as a weapon, as LA Knight got out of the corner momentarily. That's Drew now. Sending McIntyre. Well, LA Knight over the top rope, sorry. As LA Knight trying to counter. And LA Knight instead, leg drop to McIntyre. Going to the top. this deep into this matchup. LA Knight, well, Drew McIntyre, I should say, had something bad planned for LA Knight. But LA Knight countered. And LA Knight now, top rope. Axe handle, but no one showing the blood in the face. Cost LA Knight there. That's true. Net breaker. And this one, I don't get how this one's still going, honestly. I don't get how these two are still fighting. How these two are still throwing and standing in the ring. As McIntyre headbutt there, Glasgow kiss. And McIntyre looking to put this one away for the betterment of both men. And McIntyre again with a Claymore. And McIntyre isn't done there. And McIntyre again, somehow calling LA Knight to his feet, and near. That's got to be the final nail in the coffin. And Drew McIntyre wins. Exploited the injury of LA Knight, the lower back. I see a low blow legal in this matchup. You may not like the way that Drew McIntyre went about his business in this one, but you cannot deny the outcome. That Drew McIntyre defeats LA Knight. No holds barred. Both men busted open. Both men leave this matchup worse than they came in. And this was towards the final moments of the matchup. The low blow delivered there. And I think that was the turning point. And right here was the final countdown for LA Knight. Blood in the ring. Both men busted open. Both men destroyed. But Drew McIntyre is going to win this one. And Drew stands tall in the main event here in Milan. There's a hush crowd here tonight after what they just saw. Here are the boos now for McIntyre. And Drew now sets his sights on gold. You've got to imagine now putting LA Knight behind him.